Folks, I've come all the way out to Texas in search of their best rated video game stores. I'm here now at Game Bros in Pasadena, which has 4.6 stars on Google reviews. I'm here to talk to their owner, Greg, and see what the heck all the hype is about. So folks, this is Greg, owner of the game store. Thank you so much for having me out.
No problem.
We're gonna take a quick little walking tour around the game store. As we do, I'm really curious to hear, man, what's like the short history of how this place came to be? How long have you been doing it?
Well, the short of it is 1996 I started collecting.
Okay,
So,
96.
96, which you can find this stuff for nothing. Nobody had any clue that it was going to be worth anything.
Sure.
So you would find like Chrono Triggers for 50 cents, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And after that, I kind of got too much, so I was more into selling at that point, and I would sell $1, meh, sports game, right? Crappy, sorry. But I did $5, $10 fun.
Sure.
And that's how I would sell all my games.
You sold games based on their fun value. That's incredible.
Right. That's right. And now here we are.
Wow. So Greg, I'm curious. We have a lot of video game entrepreneurs watching the channel, whether they're like flipping online or maybe they have aspirations of starting a store. So I'm curious, what would you say is the hardest part of owning a video game store that people might not necessarily expect?
Oh, the hardest part of owning a video game store is more, in my opinion, is keeping up with the inventory.
Yeah.
It's really difficult.
And you have tons of it, clearly.
That's why I buy, even if I don't need it, I'm buying it.
So staying in stock is tough. If you just had a rough ballpark of how much value is sitting in this store right now, what would you say?
I have no idea. I really don't, honestly.
Yeah, it's hard to...
Yeah, it would be a lot, but it's mostly because it's stuff that you don't see.
We're talking tens of thousands.
Yes, because there's things that you don't see. You know, they're in the back room and stuff like that, so it would almost be impossible to put a dollar amount on it. What I do have a point of sale system that would tell me.
Yeah.
But I'm not, you know, I don't know.
Sure, no problem. I'm also curious, how has your strategy for the store and what you have in stock, what products you focus on, shifted over the years?
It's shifted quite a bit, but then again, I'm a collector of many things, not just games.
Yeah, clearly, because we've got, I mean, Funko's over here. We've got doormats over there. Looks like Deadpool, Captain America, all kinds of stuff. What is this?
Arcade. Wow. That's another passion of mine. I collect Japanese candy cabinets.
And so would you say that your inventory has gotten broader over the years? I mean, we've got Gundams here, we've got action figures over there.
Oh, definitely. And that's where me and my business partner, we're different. He likes Gundams, he likes stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I like action figures, so I like a lot of that's just trade-ins.
Yeah,
so
but the diversity's helped you.
Of course.
I want to ask you about some of the coolest and highest dollar items in this whole store. But first, as we start to move over to the action figures here, I'm really curious. Your store is very highly rated. 4.6 stars at last I checked on Google. I'm curious, what do you think makes a great game store? And why do you think your store is so highly rated?
I think it's because we try to treat people right.
Yeah.
We do get involved in the community. I do want to host, I've done it before in the past, I'll do it again. Game trade nights, our Pokemon cards, whatever, you know, bring them out, we'll have some fun, swap with each other, that's all good.
Yeah, so it's not just about like the buying and selling, it's also about like, you know, the locals, the community that come in most regularly. Yeah. And I see that you're not limiting yourself also to the modern figures, you've got like some vintage or at least vintage inspired stuff up here.
Yes.
Those are cool. I never had a ton of action figures as a kid, but I love the retro artwork. That's killer. So the community aspect of it, anything else? Any other tips? Any other things that you think set you apart?
Try to pay fair. I do, when we can.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from like top ranked stores. They pride themselves on paying well.
We definitely do try to pay as fair as we can. But it's hard. It is hard. You're on call 24/7. Even if you just have one. You just can't predict what's going to happen from one day to the next. You could be working 7 days a week. You might get lucky and be blessed and have 4 days off.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah. Well, I think we've kept the viewers in suspense long enough. I want to take a look at some of the most rare and expensive games that you have, and then we might do a little bit of purchasing. All right, so folks, we are here at the Grail shelf, the Grail case. Tell me, Greg, what am I looking at here? What are some of the most high dollar and coolest items in this?
Okay, it's a Pokemon box. Has the stickers, memory cards in it.
Yeah, oh, so it's fully complete.
It's amazing.
Hence the price tag.
Yeah, I think I could do better.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's worth a little bit more than that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think it's worth a little less.
Okay.
But,
oh, that's what you mean by better.
Yeah, I could do
I gotcha.
better. And then this Pokemon Stadium is sealed. I've never seen one before.
Whoa.
So there are 2 other things I would like to highlight.
For sure.
This Chrono Trigger, it's pretty good shape. It's hard finding it.
Wow.
At least for me, in that good a shape. I haven't seen many complete boxed in that condition.
That's gorgeous.
Check this out.
Okay.
This was something else I got in Florida from my friend Scott Shepard.
Yes.
Scott Squatch on YouTube. If y'all know, I'm sure y'all know who he is. But he
another
had this
OG
sitting in his living room.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh folks, our second time coming across this particular Switch Grail for me, and unfortunately, we're like 5 states away from my home and I'm flying back, so there's no chance that I can own this bad boy. This is like the exact model that I would love to have in my basement too. Right now I've got a little arcade machine and it's cool, but no one ever really plays it. And I think something like this would just be so much cooler. Like nobody has these, you know?
I've had one, my friend Joe has had one, my friend Steve has had one, my friend Bill has had one, my friend John has had one, my friend...
I'm gonna trade it to one of a good friend of mine. And we kind of talked about it, so...
Oh, so you're actually letting it go and it's not going to be to me. I'm crushed, but I'm also, I'm excited for you. One day, folks, one day this will be in my basement, mark my words. Alrighty, folks, coming away with 3 games from our stop here. Normally I'd get more, but I have to fly back. We got Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire and the special edition of Horizon Forbidden West. Greg, thanks so much for having me out. It means a ton.
Thank you for coming. I had a blast. I appreciate you, man. Had a good time hanging out with this guy all weekend.
You want to give your little shout out to Riff?
Hi, Aaron. How are you doing?
Hi, Greg.
Riff gives the best hugs.
Now folks, this is a first, I think, on Phoenix Resale. This store behind me, Rare and Classic Video Games, not only somehow has a 4.8 stars on Google reviews, but it's also not even supposed to be open right now. Luckily, the owner, AC, is the same guy who sold me the GameCube component cables a couple videos ago. Dang. And he's agreed to open it up right now just for us. So let's get in there and see what all the hype is about. So folks, this is the inside of Rare and Classic Video Games. We've got the owner here, his name's AC. We've done some business already this weekend. You've done a lot of business this weekend. I'm curious, what's the story behind this store? And you also have another one, right?
Yes, a location over there in the Cypress area.
Okay.
But before that, I was selling in flea markets for my collection. I was selling my collection, and then I said, you know what? It's good money. Let me open up a store, and that's what I did.
Yeah, that's excellent. I mean, I love the distinctive color scheme you have in here, and a lot of cool decorations too. Tell me about like the strategy behind having so much like promo materials.
Well, Nintendo Powers, man, you don't really see those. You don't really get those. So
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, they're gonna look cool in my Walmart store. So I wanted the store to look good when somebody walks in, be like, oh wow.
Yeah.
The posters, the displays, the standees.
So normally, these cases would actually be even more stocked with Rare games, but you recently made a pretty large sale at Retropalooza. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, I mean, I went to the Retropalooza to sell, right?
Yeah.
So a good thing it did sell.
You had the opportunity to make a large bulk sale at a bit of a discount, and you took it. So I'm happy for you with that. Tell me this, what's the best and worst part of owning a game store?
The best is all the trades.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's gonna come into your store. A rare game, or something you never had, or something you don't know about.
Right.
Now the worst, on slow days. That's the worst part.
Because you've got your fixed expenses, right? The space, the employees and everything, but like if nothing's coming through the door.
How can I pay them?
Right.
My rent.
So tell me, do you have like a favorite display piece in here or like a favorite item that's on the shelves?
Oh, I'm a Sonic fan.
Okay.
So the Sonic Mania.
Believe it or not, I actually just bought one of those in RGT's collection. I have one of those in my basement right now, and I got it out. I thought, wow, that is so cool.
Yeah. I'm a Sonic fan, man. That's like my #1. And then, of course, I call it the Pokemon wall.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, but this is my favorite because I am a Pokemon fan.
You've got some gameplay going on over here and a bunch of like GameStop promo stuff. So how'd you get this thing in?
A guy from Florida was passing through Houston.
Yeah.
He stopped by the store, saw a game I had. He goes, do you do trades? Of course I do trades.
Yeah.
He brought this in. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, it's not a game. It's a
That's
nice,
crazy.
Yeah,
This thing's like as big as I am.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like it, man.
Do you want to say what you paid for it?
I think it was 500 store credit.
Dang. Okay, so you paid up for this. If I would, what would I have to pay you now to take this home?
Oh man, I would have to get like 100,000 subscribers, bro. For real, you saying no? Oh man.
Subscribe to Rare and Classic. I got to get to 100K to take this thing home with me. Honestly, I don't think that it would fit in my checked bag, so I may have to pass on it for now.
Yeah.
Don't act like you were gonna buy that.
Ooh, and folks, check this out. A little souvenir from Rare and Classic. Over G Fighters for 25 bucks. Look at this on Amazon. 51 after fees. Let's go. AC, how does it feel that I'm scamming you out of that $25, man? I appreciate it. We'll call it the family and friends discount.
Yeah.
And folks, check this out too. Kung Fu Panda sealed, 15 bucks into 31. Thanks, Poe. Now folks, I did find a couple of extra sealed games here. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in order up on the Wii. What you guys may not realize about AC is that I had a car rental problem coming down here to Houston that I didn't resolve, and this dude has been chauffeuring me everywhere that I need to go. Super kind guy. Really appreciate you having me out.
Oh man, you already know.
Appreciate the deals. It's really been excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to my store, man.
Happy to. Folks, our last stop of the day is Replay Video Games here in downtown Houston. It has 4.8 stars on Google reviews. I just took a peek in there and I think you guys are really gonna like it. So folks, I'm here with Dave, the owner, manager, cashier, janitor here at Replay Games. Thanks so much for having me out, I appreciate it. As we're starting to stroll around here, can you tell me just like a brief history of how this store came to be?
So started about 8 years ago. Yeah, it was something I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
I loved going to all the mom and pop stores in the 80s and 90s that, you know, they used to be everywhere.
Right.
And they just kind of died off as time went on, and I just wanted to have that again. And yeah, that's what I'm doing.
For sure. So tell me, what is like the best and worst part for you of owning a game store, especially one of like this size? I imagine it's pretty complicated.
So best thing, probably just getting to be around all the old stuff that I love. I mean, I still get excited when I get in a boxed NES game, or you know, something that you rarely see. Like, I don't know, there's some good, Dreamcast stuff that you don't see too often. I love getting in like CDI games and 3DO games.
Yeah.
And I like the dumb stuff. I mean, like anything that's different. I got
obscure.
I got like the weird stuff is the fun stuff. I've got like Gizmondo and Box over there, and Zebo, and that's the stuff I like. I like the stupid stuff.
Yeah, and looks like you even have a ton of like retro complete stuff, which you don't often see.
Yeah, and it's all in beautiful shape too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's this area or because I offer more than a lot of other places, but yeah, just a lot of it ends up kind of funneling down to me. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah. What would you say on the flip side is like the worst part for you of owning a game store?
Because I do everything pretty much on my own, I don't love getting in everyone's dirty trades. Filthy items are the absolute worst. I don't enjoy cleaning things, but I do it constantly, all day, every day.
You wouldn't necessarily think that because everything on the shelves is nice and clean, right? You just see the clean stuff.
Right.
But I imagine there's a lot of nastiness that comes through the doors.
Yeah,
Well, this stuff all looks gorgeous, so you're doing good work here. I appreciate it. So tell me, as we scoot a little bit farther down here in front of the nice Prada glasses case, what are some of the like coolest or rarest or most obscure items in the store?
Some kind of rare Dreamcast stuff.
Okay.
More
a couple sealed titles, it looks like, up here?
Yeah, sealed stuff too. This whole shelf is sealed too. I've got some sealed stuff behind the counter that's not even out yet. It's got a sealed Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in last weekend. And a sealed Doom 32X. And it's got like a Virtual Boy, got an N-Gage, the
with
QD
the controller.
N-Gage.
Very nice.
Got a Lynx, Box Gizmondo.
You mentioned a couple of like consoles over here too, right?
Yeah, consoles over here. I got Gremlins and Spider-Man in box and Atari. Zebo up top, a Famicom titler. PSX.
Yeah.
Got a Duo RX and a Pladia down there.
I'm curious, you've got a good number of tube TVs here. Do these sell pretty quick for you with the retro game scene?
This area is crazy for people who want CRTs. It seems like no one can find them anymore.
Is it a lot of like Smash Bros players?
It's
like,
not.
Okay.
I think that's how it is in most places.
Yeah.
But here, it's just like mostly, it's a mix between older dudes in the 40s like me who just like want something to play their Nintendo and Super Nintendo on.
Yeah.
And some Smash kids who are just getting into it and they're like, I want a CTR. I'm like, you mean a CRT? You know, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of both.
You've got a killer 3DS and DS section over here too.
And those, and then in the glass, I've got some loose ones too. Yeah, they come through. Get a lot of them that come through. It's all loose ones down here.
Yeah.
All right, so I've also got a whole bunch of Sega CD stuff and Saturn stuff and Master System stuff.
This is a crazy Sega CD selection.
This is the whole Sega area. So I've got a KO Flying Squadron in mint condition in there.
Oh my god, is that the most expensive Sega CD game?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Wow.
I've seen them go as high as 4,000. Like it's ridiculous these days. And a lot of good boxed Master System at the bottom. Got Quartet. It's a great game.
Amazing selection.
And then Saturn around the side. One or two Working Designs games still. They keep selling whenever I get them in, and some good American stuff. So
you'll keep buying my stuff. I got all this money and no games.
It's so sad. And good import Saturn stuff too.
Yeah. So we've also got plenty of arcade cabs back in the corner here. Do these get a lot of use?
Mortal Kombat does.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 2 is the one I usually play the most on. I always let everybody know if they beat me at Mortal Kombat 2, they get a free $50 gift card.
Oh, dang, high stakes.
I've never given out one free $50 gift card.
So I imagine this is very popular with the customers. Can you tell me anything about, because your store has incredible reviews. What do you think, clearly you're doing something right with the community. What do you think makes a great game store?
It's really just actually talking to people and being friendly with everyone. Because you go into so many places and everyone's rude. And you know, a lot of the customers who come in, not to be mean to customers, but a lot of customers who come in don't have the best social skills. So you've got to kind of just ease everyone into the store and let them know that they can feel at home at the shop. You know, give good prices for trades and you know, just be nice to everybody. And that's really it. Like, it's just being cool to everybody.
Business 101, folks.
Yeah.
I love it. It's simple. So folks, here is the higher dollar Switch shelf right here. I'm a little bit jealous of this Super Meat Boy, unfortunately. This is not a Mission Switch episode, so I'm gonna be holding off on that right now, but I do wanna buy something for the trade shelf. I think I'm probably gonna go with this Always collection because this is one that I don't know if I've ever really seen in person or flipped personally. Folks, we got a couple little bonus items to highlight for you as well. Before I let you go, what are they here in the GBA case?
So I've got a lot of really nice mint condition Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games. I just want to point out there's a beautiful mint Ninja 5.0, beautiful Pocky and Rocky with Becky.
Yeah.
Just fun stuff that you don't see in that
I thought
condition.
the Big Box WarioWare Twisted was cool too.
Always pretty.
That is minty. Folks, believe it or not, this is actually my second game store tour video that I've filmed in just a couple weeks. The last one was on the East Coast in New York City. If you want to see what their best rated game stores look like, check out this video right down here, and I'll catch you guys on the flip.